Yes. Sender vi? Fedt. Hey, my name is Jonas, and I'll be playing cassettes for an hour. And there is no specific plan for today, but I have been in quite a good mood today, and for a special reason, because this morning someone knocked at my door, and it turned out to be the guy who delivers post, and he delivered me a package that I thought was lost with a cassette from a friend in the US. And now I would love to say that we're going to listen to the tape now, but it's not. It's maybe not really suited for radio or public listening, so to speak. But I'm gonna play other tapes, and the package was lost for a half year, so I'm in a. I think maybe today is especially a good day when something like that can happen. At least I'm in a good mood, and I've just had a cold soda, and in the room here is Frederik Heidemann and Alexander Holm. So it's good things are happening. We're gonna listen to a tape from a project from Canada called Idler, and it's a split tape with Hatif Fnatter from France, and it's released on Sats Ata, and it has a very nice texture. I think it's made with very simple tools, but it just sounds very fresh and very like drinking a cold soda on a hot summer day, I think. It's a good one. It arrived in a package the other day with some other tapes, just when I had come home from an exam that went well, but it was a nice thing to put on just after the exam. Yes, it's starting now. I really like the textures, like the textures in the sound on this tape. I think it has a very maybe I guess some people would describe them as being harsh or unpleasant, but to my ears, they feel very warm, and it sounds like kind of old, broken electronics, but not in an, at least not to me, in an unpleasant way. So the next tape is from my friend Gustav in Göteborg. It's by his project Blod, and I'm just checking. Yeah, it's the right side. This tape is called Leerne från helvetet, and I'm not good. I can't speak Swedish at all, but it's a great one. It's from 2017, and it's like I think he said to me that it was his attempt at doing like a free jazz record, but instead of having like a real band to play with, he just did it all by himself at home, which is the best way to ensure that you get the sounds you want, I guess. But it's a very this tape always brings a smile to my face. It's very joyful music, I would say, and it's you can hear that it's made by someone who really has a specific idea for what sounds he want and don't care what anyone would expect. I would say it's very nice. We're gonna listen to a few minutes of this one. this release, I think, is very nice. It's kind of back then, Gustav, he was experimenting a lot. Now he makes more like song-oriented music, which is also very beautiful. But this was kind of before he was still kind of figuring out what to do. But the sounds of him trying to figure out things out are amazing. And this tape, it got reissued on a vinyl a few years ago, so it's available. Next up is another tape from one of my favorite new labels, Regional Bears, from somewhere in the UK, and it's by a band from Japan. I think they are called Mahashal Hasbas, and I don't know much about it, but it's like a band music of some kind, and it's very, very nice. We're gonna listen to a few minutes of the beginning. So next up today is a tape from Göteborg noise project Blodvite, a guy named Victor who for some reason stopped making music and became a scientist of some sort. And even though it's, I think he's maybe doing more great for the world by, or like for more people at least by being a scientist. I think it's also a little a waste of musical talent, but can't remember the title of this. But it's like it's some tour tape, like small edition tape he did, and I recently got a copy. He's one of those people where I'm kind of collecting everything he has done, and he haven't done so many releases, and he kind of stopped at some point. But it is it's always hard for me to understand people who actually stop making music. But it's probably because I'm only 22 now, and most of those people who stop, they stop sometime in their 30s or 40s. So maybe it will happen to me also. But yeah, let's listen to a few minutes of this. It's interesting because all the Blodvite records, they kind of all just sound like it's some recording of some maybe like construction work or something like that. I don't know if he was just like a guy who worked with, I don't know, demolishing buildings or something and then just recorded that, but they have this very specific sound where it's like it I'm not sure if it's like it's like a field recording or if it's in a way intended to be quote unquote music, but it sounds like almost like an accidental recording in a way. But but yeah, I like the textures, and again, it's like, I think even though it's quite noisy, it's also in a way very warm, or it feels like a very organic, in a way, kind of noise. It's not like a digital hash sound. So no, but I like it. Next up is a tape I don't know anything about, but it's from a project called Tam Tam, and the title is Pure Helium, and it's released on Regional Bears, and it's very nice and in a way very simple. Maybe actually kind of like Blodvide, but with completely other tools. But it's very simple, but still kind of hard to figure out what exactly is going on. But I quite like it. So let's listen to. We're just kind of dropping in the middle of the tape.
Parking the car. Parking the car. Parking the car. Parking the car.
I like how this tape seems to have it has like very few elements. There's like the guitar and maybe some field recording bells and whispered voices. But even though it's very few things going on, things are merged together in a very nice way where it, I think especially the vocals and kind of small spoken word parts make it really special, because if it was only the guitar sounds, it would be more just like standard ambient music and still good, but it has like some. It feels like it's very thought out. There's like a really specific idea behind things, even though it's also kind of mysterious, which I think that's oftentimes the case with nice tape releases, that there is like some thought behind it, but the presentation is kind of mysterious or like obscure in a way. Next up is a tape from maybe the person in Denmark who has made most releases or underground releases. I once asked him how many releases he has made, and he told me that he stopped counting in 2010 when he had done 150, and I think by then he was maybe 25 years old or something. It's of course Klaus Haxholm, and this is a fairly new release of his, where he plays some kind of home-built string instrument that a person from his family apparently built for him, and it's very, very nice and special and kind of primitive, but also very deep. I would say, and I think Klaus is lucky to have such a cool person in his family who built homemade string instruments out of like pieces of wood and stuff. Yes, let's listen. I think there exist maybe 15 copies, and maybe if you reach out to Klaus, he might still have one available. I'm not sure, but you could try and reach out to him. So now for something completely different. I was just talking with Alexander about that there's the music genre like American primitive, then this must be Børkop primitive. Børkop is the city in Jylland where Klaus lives, apparently kind of almost out in the forest with his family. And this tape is kind of recorded outside, I think. Next up is a very weird and kind of very like weird psychedelic tape from an American project. It's kind of not. It's kind of hard to figure out who's even on this tape, but it's released on Stuart Skinner's label, The Gift of Music, and the artist name for the release, I think, is Experiments in American Music. And it's kind of a collaboration between a lots of people, and I think it's like people sending source material to Steve, who's editing it together. But it's like I don't know if it's maybe it's kind of like fun or maybe kind of scary. I have a hard time figuring out, but I quite like it, and it has this very home. It sounds like someone made some music made in someone's basement. It has like very broken it's like a broken homemade weird sound of, I imagine, like old guitar amplifiers and tape machines which are barely running anymore, but I quite like this. Let's listen to a few minutes. So on this tape, there's these. It's kind of eerie when you listen to it. There's this constant sound of someone screaming. It's very it's quite kind of dramatic in a way, but it has this yeah, it's I think as I told before, it's like maybe 5 different people sending source tapes to Stuart Skinner and Thomas DeAngelo, who is editing it all together. And now I'm a little distracted because I have to make sure that it's the right side I'm playing of. Yes, great. So we have time for one last cassette today. It's a Danish tape I got recently from a person who is almost my neighbor. His name is Mark Kellaway, and he has the electronic music project called Exquisite Russian Brides, and he plays in a band called Distortion Girls. And he and a few friends has been doing this label called the Catbox Corporation for 20 years maybe. They've been making music together since they were in high school, and I think they were in a way some of the first people in Denmark to make the kind of music they do, which is in a way hard to describe, but they were and are quite active and has mostly released on American labels. This tape is by their old band called Pink Luminous Invocation, and it was released on Not Fun in 2005. And I find it interesting in a way that this music was made in Denmark in 2005, because I think maybe besides from Family Underground, they were the only people doing this kind of weird stuff back then. But it's quite a lovely tape. We're going to listen to a few minutes, and then it's on to the next DJ who apparently plays vinyls. So that's going to be super nice. Thank you for listening, and see you out there.